Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, can you share a little bit about how you came to New Directions and some of the challenges you were facing before you got to us?
Certainly. I went to New Directions begrudgingly. It was not an option. My life before New Directions was chaotic, to say the least.
Yeah.
I didn't have like a really low alcoholic bottom. I just got fired from a job.
Wow.
But the me internally was just screaming and crying and just like wanting to get out of my own skin. And I think a lot of us in the program could understand that we drink or use drugs, whatever we did, to cope with what we're feeling and
Yeah.
experiencing. My goal when I was being raised was to make everything look perfect on the outside, but it doesn't matter how we looked on the inside. Like,
Yeah.
no one could care less.
Yeah.
I'd wake up. I remember when it exactly happened. I'd crossed that invincible line of alcohol being like a luxury and then became like a necessity,
Yeah.
just like the big book says it. And I was in New York, and I remember one time I woke up and I had a bad hangover, and my neighbor downstairs was like, "Well, just drink to get over it." I'm like, genius, like you were a genius.
Yeah.
And that's where it just went really bad. Wow. And I started drinking when I was, now it's considered to be old, but like 10 years old. So
true.
I was like basically an adult compared to the age of people drinking now.
Yeah.
And it was just a glass of wine at a wedding, as our parents would allow us to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't like become homeless right away. I didn't like go hide in a hotel room and kill people for alcohol. It's just like went to bed, wake up the next morning, didn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
And then when the opportunity came again, I drank. I was like, same thing, whatever, it doesn't matter. But then I was at a party and I had that like altering thought while under the influence. I was like, this is the only way I ever want to feel ever again.
Yeah.
So I was like chasing that high that we all liked from the first time.
Yeah.
But, it was miserable. It was crazy. I thought I had it all together,
Of course.
but come to learn later on that everyone knew everything that I was doing. So I thought I was being so like secretive and conniving, and they're like, no, we knew it all. So the gig was up, had an intervention it was like 1 a.m. in New York.
Wow.
I was like, you pick a different time, right? And my cousin was helping my mom find treatment out here. And she had looked up facilities, and it came down to New Directions in one other place, but they did extensive research. And New Directions was the one that stood out the longest because it had a really long, strong history of women in addiction.
Yep.
And if there was anywhere that my mom was going to take me, it was somewhere that, could ingrain a structure in me.
Yeah.
So I was put on a plane as a 25-year-old by an ear and dragged out to Orange County. So nothing about this was willing.
Yeah.
But I hated treatment. I didn't hate New Directions. I hated treatment.
Yeah. Thank you for making that decision.
Yeah. And that's just because later on I learned that it's because I hated myself.
Yeah.
And staff did an amazing job. They put up with my nonsense and everything that I put them through. Poor people, But
Yeah.
I mean, we're just like animals and fishes when we hate ourselves.
Yeah.
Like no person was left standing around my wake. This was so bad, But I needed that. I needed that. So, and that's how New Directions came about.
Yeah.
Done under extensive research, and it's an investment you make.
Yeah.
On a life.
Yeah.
And you know, and I would assume my mom is happy with the investment she made,
Oh, yes.
you know, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's changed my life. It's changed family's life, and it's changed generations.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you remember the first few days at New Directions?
God, do I ever?
What was that like for you? Yeah, what was that like for you?
It was just, everything was so structured. And I wasn't like used to that,
Yeah,
but I needed it.
yeah,
And I've read so many books on how we don't think we need structure until we're in it.
yeah,
And then we like actually like have to have it.
yeah.
And I mean, like, it was like, I want to say it was like a Wednesday night I came in on, or a Tuesday night. They were out at a 12-step meeting, so I was just there by myself doing my intake. And the second they got home, it was like chore time,
Yeah.
you know? And it was like, they introduced me to my buddy, and my buddy was leaving the next day. You know, so it was just
Yeah.
like, whatever, you know, but like at that point I was just like I don't want to say survival mode. I wasn't like trying to survive, but it was like, this is all new. Like,
Yeah.
the way I was living wasn't working. Not that I had like conceded to and like given up the fight at that
You weren't
point.
at full surrender, but
Yeah.
you were getting there. Yeah.
But I was just like, I'd made the decision to go to treatment. It was either treatment or kill myself.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hard choice, but, you know, decisions were made. So, you know, I was just kind of like, and I was raised in such a militant household that, like, you just do what you're told. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, okay. So, and so begrudgingly, I was doing things, but, you know, they buddied me up with someone else. I wasn't leaving so soon. And it was just, you just go through the motions,
Yeah.
like monkey see, monkey do. I remember back then, New Directions didn't provide coffee, nor decaf. Like, I don't know where you guys think you are, but it was just.
That has since changed.
I'm aware of that. That's been made clear to me. So it's funny, but it's like, it's just like monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then like the gals would wake up, they would do their breakfast stuff, and then they would go to process group. I think it was in the morning.
Yeah.
Then we would do like breakfast, and then we'd all sit around the table and read the rules every day. At that point, the dining room had this very beautiful, elegant table.
I've heard about the table.
And I
I've
told
heard
my
about
mom
the
about it. She was
Yeah.
like the only thing she was sad about. I was like, the table, not the table. She was very glued to that table. But it was like, just think of like 3 lengths of this thing.
Wow.
And it was just like solid wood.
Yeah.
And she was like, the table was the only thing she cared about. It's funny. But we all sat around the table, announced our sobriety dates, and read the rules. And it was good. It was that from the first day to my last day, everything was the same. And that's what I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that structure. I needed that like reboot.
Yeah.
And not many of us have that before we come in.
Yeah.
Even though we think we're completely functional, we're not.
Yep.
So yeah. But that was my first couple of days. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
The program impacted your experience at New Directions.
Yeah. God, the staff. I'm so sorry for just bringing them through hell through 96 days.
They
I'm
survived.
so sorry. They had a very, very clear understanding of the milieu they're working with.
Yeah.
Like, we're in treatment for a reason. Like, we're not in treatment because, I was like a phenomenal coworker, beautiful, wonderful daughter, did everything I was ever told to do. Like, they understood that.
Yeah.
And I could see how they handled me, my tantrums, and how they handled other people and their tantrums. They were very patient. And that's not to say some of them would be like,
Yeah.
you know, but we test the boundaries of them.
Yeah.
Like, we're so good at doing that. And it was never raising their voice. They were very calm. And I remember the staff that I challenged, and they never, ever, like, argued back.
Wow.
And, I mean, the times they would just walk away.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all you could do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, and then the staff, and then the clients, you know, there were some clients that were further along in care than I was, and then there was those that came in after me, you know, and I felt bad for those that came in after me, you know, but those that were ahead of me did a really good job of seeing that, you know, like, I'm hating everything.
Yeah.
I am hating myself, therefore I'm going to hate you, I'm going to hate everything. And they did a good job of just, like, kind of navigating things.
Yeah.
And I remember a girl, and I was like, I mean, I had no knowledge of AA, like, none.
Before coming to
Yeah,
New
like,
Directions. Wow.
I didn't even know what a big book was.
Wow.
I thought the blue book and the big book and the AA book were 3 different books. I was like, how many books do you guys have like here? I went to college. I know what books look like.
Alcoholics love their books.
Yeah. I was like, so I'm trying to, like, scavenging through, like, the book
Yeah.
section that, like, you guys have, and you have all variations of, like,
Yeah.
different size books, which
Yeah.
is good. And they all are the one book.
Yep.
Later found out.
Different editions.
Different
Yep.
editions. And
Yeah.
I was trying to find, and I was not asking anyone for help. And this one gal, I can't remember anything about her other than she was like, I just want to let you know, this book, and that book are all the same.
Oh.
And it was so cute. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
She didn't, like, have to, like, help me,
Yeah.
you know, and I can't even remember who it was. I can't even picture them,
Yeah.
you know, but they're like, just so you know, these 3 books are all the same. And, you know, and I was like, fine, thanks. You know, like, I wasn't grateful. I was like,
Yeah.
thanks, you
Yeah.
know? And so, and it was stuff like that, like
Yeah.
little small things, you know? And then we didn't have cell phone access, like, for a while, it seemed, you know, but they were very helpful and, like, telling me, like, these are the rules, like, don't even try to break them. Like,
Yeah.
you'd be an idiot to do that. And so it was really nice from what I saw looking back, everyone was very just patient with each other.
Yeah.
Like, they were firm on, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. But they were very gracious and accepting of, like, helping me pivot and navigate these, like, unknown territories I was going through.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was, I mean, that's not to say that all the clients were just so, like, oh, please
Yeah.
be patient with us, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we were all fighting our own demons at
Yeah.
a certain point. But at a certain point, you also have, like, trauma bond, right? You,
Yeah.
like, get connected.
Yeah.
You're like, we're in survival mode now.
You're all there for
yeah.
common, like, with a common purpose.
Yeah.
And a mission
Yeah.
together to change your life.
And you know, and, like, it came, and after some time, we all, like, I came to understand, like, we're all here for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's not because we were, like, wonderful, phenomenal human beings either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was basically, like, what I really experienced and really stood out to me.
Beautifully
Yeah.
put. Can you share any specific moments about the clinical program that really stood out or made an impact on you?
Yeah. I remember when I got my first therapist, I'll started with that, you know, and we have this therapy where there's 20,000 billion modalities now, right?
Yeah.
But I had this one therapist when I first got there. It was like in a room, 2 chairs, like, tell me everything. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I think time came through, and New Directions figured that, like, I wasn't going to really open up to this person.
Yeah.
And so they wanted me to really optimize my time.
Yeah.
So they put me with another case manager or therapist.
Okay.
And we tried the therapy talk, like Need and Eat talk, whatever it's called. And I just was not opening up. I was like that. I was just like a Fort Knox,
Yeah.
basically,
Your
with
walls
my
were up.
emotions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my therapist had this one, and then one of the groups was at the beach. I remember that because I went through New Directions in May of 2011 through like August of 2011. So it was summertime.
Yeah. The entire summer.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
entire summer I was in treatment, and so they did a group at the beach one time, and it was Newport Harbor,
Yeah.
like pier area. I just was checked out, and my therapist was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna like pull you off to the side, and we're gonna take a walk along the beach." And I will never forget that because I didn't have to look at her. I was not confined to a four-corner room
Wow.
where I just unleashed and opened everything to her. So after that, she would make pivots on how her therapy sessions would be with me.
Yeah.
And it was never in a four-corner room ever again, I'll tell you that.
She met you where you were at.
Yeah. And so so I just like floodgates just came opening up. And she made that opportunity for me to open up where I felt safe. Not where she felt safe, where I felt safe.
Wow.
And it was funny. After I left treatment, I did that whole IOP thing that you guys recommended and highly recommended that whole thing. And I hadn't seen her after.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to a noon meeting to get my 1-year chip, and I saw her. And I was like, I still see her every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I just like had to tell her, I'm like, you literally changed my life from that point on. And it was great, and it was nice that they were able to cater to that.
Yeah.
They knew like I'm not opening up to anyone in a four-corner room. Like this is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the way that they were able to manipulate probably their own policies and their liability to kind of navigate that and be like, hey, let's just crack something.
Yeah.
And that I will never forget that moment.
Wow.
And that was like, it had to have been around like June of like 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a great moment. Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about how your life has changed since completing New Directions for Women?
Sure. Yeah. Life after New Directions has been a roller coaster, but in a really good way. After the residential program, I did IOP, OP, PHP, all the P's, whatever.
Did it all.
And I was in some form of programming structure for a year and a half.
Okay.
And that's what I needed.
Yeah.
I needed that ability to just have people tell me what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my best thinking got me into some sticky situations.
Yeah.
And, I started getting some get well jobs, and then I was actually started working in treatment myself. Started as a temp, and then they brought me on full time at a facility, and I was there for about a little good chunk of time, and then I got hired on to help start a facility.
Yeah.
And I've been working there, for almost 10 years.
Wow.
So, in that time, things have changed. My life has changed, personal relations, everything has changed.
Yeah.
And as it should.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I remember when I came into New Directions, like, you don't have to change everything, or no, something along the lines of like, you just have to like change everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? What kind of concept is this?
Yeah.
And it was like, and it was just like, you can change your appearance, you can do this, just don't do what you were doing before. So
Yeah.
everything has like come and gone, and COVID was just COVID time.
Yeah.
I want to go into that,
Yeah.
but, I've been employed for a total of like 14 years since I got sober. I've never had to go out, find a job.
Yeah.
I'm recruited within, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
People look at me like, oh, you've been at the same company for 10 years? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, what are you doing? And stuff like, I started a business about 5 years ago. I became a homeowner, which is
Wow.
really hard to do in Orange County by
Yeah.
yourself.
Extremely hard.
And no one wanted anything to do with me. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, just like, have her wash the dishes. Like, just keep her to the side, families coming to me for advice. I've had many people ask me for a letter of references for like law schools
Wow.
and like medical schools. Like,
Yeah.
my name is rubber stamped in a letter of recommendation for like Ivy Leagues. So it's like, and I'm helping families like help their kids navigate these like challenging, uncharted territories of like,
Yeah.
my kid has tried to kill herself several times. Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I incorporate into the facilities that I run that I stole from New Directions. So copyright, sorry.
You learned.
Yeah.
You learned.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just the going back to the basics
Yeah.
is what we all really need when it comes to something that's going to heal us and ultimately make us like better.
Yeah.
And, in my life, if you, even like 5 years ago, if you told me I was be living the life I'm living today, it's like,
Yeah.
like, calm down, like, please, and there's a lot, I would say there's about 75% of what I learned in New Directions, I still incorporate into my daily life.
Wow.
It's like,
Wow.
making my bed, doing my hygiene stuff before I even walk out of my room.
Yeah.
And it's like taking my medication before like I even step out into society, the real world. And it's stuff like that. And just being
Yeah.
very like regimented and I apply a lot of it, like my career success, to a lot of the things that I got in the first like year
Yeah.
that I needed.
Yeah.
Nothing that I'm doing today, I'm incorporating what I did before
Yeah.
while I was drinking.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like none of it was helpful.
Yeah.
And, I've decided that I've started applying to MBA programs.
Oh.
So I'll be starting at some program. I have a couple in mind in spring.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's huge.
Thank you.
Oh
and then
my
eventually
gosh.
go get a doctorate. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So, and that took time. I
Yeah.
had to like figure this out. Like, what do I want to do with my life? I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do this treatment thing. And how do I want to expand from that? But like, I have so many opportunities now that, like, there's really no limits.
Yeah.
And we could do so much when we're sober, and we have
Yeah.
like a sober network in
Yeah.
us. And I'm, and when I left New Directions, I was like so scared to like leave the like New Directions bubble.
Yeah.
I got like a place. I think it was like a mile from you guys, like the main campus. It was no more a mile than
You
a mile
stayed
and a
close.
half.
You
I stayed there for
close.
10 and a half years.
You were in your safety bubble.
Yeah, and I was
Oh.
like, when I was presented with this opportunity to
Yeah.
buy something, I was like, but it was just so like, I needed that bubble for
Yeah.
such a long time.
Yeah.
So, and that's what like, and that's not to say that's going to be everyone's story, but to me, how I incorporate is that I felt so safe
Yeah.
in that bubble that I needed to have it be part of my life.
Yeah.
And I could drive by New Directions anytime and just pop in, and everyone is so welcoming,
Yeah.
And, over the time, I've popped in and out of the alumni meetings that you guys hold, and really engaged myself this past year in the alumni
You have.
thing that you guys have.
Yep.
And one of the grads from a couple of years ago, she really revamped the alumni program
Yep.
and got me engaged. And she was like, so I dug my heels in. It's been great,
Yeah.
and to see like the structure of like the literal inside structure
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
program has changed.
Yeah.
That table is no longer there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That's not going to keep someone sober, but
But
so
it was
it's-
nice when we had
yeah,
it.
and it's changed and it's evolved over time. And, from what I'm hearing is that the clinical aspect has like stayed the same,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
Like you change the like formulas and you change the groups and stuff like that, but the dedication is still there.
Yeah.
And every time I walk into the dining room, it's always full.
Yeah.
There's always food on the table, which I like,
Yeah.
but, there's a lot more support in when someone leaves and like multiple follow-ups.
Yeah.
And you guys did that with me, but
Yeah.
now it's like we have alumni events that we're doing and getting them engaged. They've done an amazing job having the alumni program on Saturday and Thursday nights.
The
and
speaker meetings and
Speaker meetings,
panels.
yeah. And like keeping everyone engaged.
Yep.
And when those aren't happening, Facebook alumni page is popping off, Instagram, like all the socials are popping off.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone engaged,
Yep.
And I see a lot of the alumni, they're now friends, they live together, they hang out, and we need that.
Yeah.
We need that in a community. And
It's its own community.
yeah,
Really. It's its own community.
Everyone has the same goals, even if we came from different walks of life, we all have the same goal.
Yeah.
So there's no judgment there. We've all been through the first 3 days of new directions, like what are we getting ourselves into?
Yeah.
And I hear, and what I do hear, which could be considered to be good or bad, is that of those who do need to come back to treatment, they go back to new directions.
Yeah.
Because they feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say, I've been sober since 2011. It's my one and only time getting sober, and I hope it remains that way.
Yeah.
But should things change, I have options, and new
Yeah.
directions certainly is always one of them.
Yeah.
So, new directions has been around. When I got sober, you guys were around for like 30 years.
Since 1977.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over
So-
48 years.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and as far as I'm concerned, and working in the industry, if you don't hear about a facility, it's a good thing.
Yep. Yep.
I don't hear about you guys
Yeah.
much in the media, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and and I had a call with a family a couple of years ago. They're like, what if I don't know what I'm doing, right? Like my family had the blessing that my cousin had gone to treatment, and she's like, I'll help you.
Yeah.
They had that one connection and link.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you do when you go into it with a naked eye? I was like, do your research.
Yeah.
And it was that research that my cousin had done that ultimately got me guys to you guys. Yeah.
Oh.
And the one thing that I will always, always, always appreciate, even though I didn't at the time, was one of the admissions coordinators. Like I told her, I'm like, I'm not coming here.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna go figure this out myself. But they did a very good job of, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You are well over the age of 18,
Yeah.
but historically speaking, this is what we've seen in the past. And they did a really good job of allowing me to make the final decision whether I was going to go to treatment or not.
Yeah.
That to me is what I needed.
Yeah.
Like and then you could drag me, you can chain me up and throw me across the country to
Yeah.
come to treatment, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stay.
Correct.
Like they had that really keen ability to talk to me
Yeah.
and to get to know me before trying to sell the program.
Yeah.
And that stood out to me.
Yeah.
And so what I tell these parents is that, like, I don't care if you come here, there, go to Joe and Charlie's AA Rising or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like, go
Yeah.
wherever,
Yeah.
But do your research.
Yeah.
Talk to the clients, talk to the families, talk to the parents of alumni, current clients, alumni, and the admin person presented that to me. I mean, I didn't take the opportunity, but but they presented that to me,
Yeah.
which to me showed they're not hiding anything.
Yeah.
She made herself very exposed.
Yeah.
And that I liked that,
Yeah.
and ultimately it did come down to my decision. I
Yeah.
immediately regretted it, but before anything,
Yeah.
before anything was done, like a ticket was purchased and I was on the plane.
Yeah.
So, but that's the one thing I remember sitting on the curb outside my apartment in New York and talking to the admin coordinator. And she was just like, yeah, it's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we're talking about, but I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. She honored your agency and your autonomy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that this is ultimately your decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she did a very good way of like navigating that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to other women who are considering coming to New Directions?
Go into treatment with an open mind. Don't have any expectations. I mean, I'm the type of person that I want everything to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, I'm not going to like it. I don't know of any place or any human or any house or anything, institution that's perfect. It's not going to happen, but we are very good at making up excuses. I could come up with a trillion excuses why I don't need this,
Yeah.
but I can't even give you one reason why it's good for me. And, as time, based on what I experienced, I wish I wasn't resistant for the first 30 days.
Yeah.
I just sat there and clung on, and I know I missed a lot of early in my recovery because I was so resistant, and I was just nitpicking and just judgmental, and how dare you don't have the New York Times? Like, why would you have the New York Times? It's LA, like you're in Orange County, so it's all those
Yeah.
nitpicky things is that to be careful of.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier said than done, that, and having experienced that and having telling people that,
Yeah.
but go into it that this is a new way of living. It doesn't mean it's going to become amazing. You're going to be a homeowner. You're going to be a business owner. I'm not saying that's the path we're going to have.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you, if you just go into it with open mind, things are going to change.
Yeah.
It's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And, the way I see it is if I'm crossing my arms for however old I am, crossing my arms one way, and then I put in this, and then you tell me, hey,
Gotta do it
go
the
ahead
other
and cross your arms the other way. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like, well, stupid, but okay, but they're like, well, keep trying that,
Yeah.
keep doing it, and then I'm gonna do it because you're watching me. I'm gonna do it because my therapist is watching me. But when I get into those sticky situations and I get scared, nervous, I'm automatically gonna just cross my arms the other way because that's just what I've always done.
Yeah.
That's just what I've always done.
Yeah.
And then the therapist sees me crossing my arms the other way. She's like, hey, do it this way. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's like, but the purpose of New Directions is getting us into practicing that muscle memory.
Yes.
When we're in sticky situations, we want to go back to our old ways because that's what we're used to. Be like, well, no, try it the other way.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be different. It's not going to feel good. Like, this does not feel good.
Yeah.
But it does, like, give it a try,
Yeah.
and that's what New Directions put in place is like, just try it.
Yeah.
It's not going to, kill you. Just give it a try.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you put that idea and emotion and put the muscle memory into practice.
Yeah.
That's why I had to be in some form of containment.
Yeah.
Clinical containment for a year.
Yeah.
Is to practice crossing my arms the other way.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if I go to the doctor and I broke my arm, right?
Right.
Like, I'm not going
Right.
to tell him, like, well, just kind of put the cast around here.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, just shut up.
Yeah.
I'm the doctor. I'm the professional. Do it the way I say it. You're going to get cured a lot faster.
Yeah.
And that's what New Directions therapy is.
Yeah.
You guys are the professionals. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
My best thinking almost got me killed
Yeah.
thousands of times. So why not at least take the opportunity, go to the professionals and listen to what they have to say?
Yeah.
That's what I tell everyone who ever crosses my path, whoever needs help.
Yeah.
Like, just ask the professionals.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, you got nothing to lose and literally everything to gain from that.
Oh yeah,
And you're living proof
there's
of it.
thousands of testimonies out there I've gone to many of the alumni New Directions events, and
Yeah.
You have very powerful people who went through the program.
We do.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't believe me, that's fine.
There's
I
been
don't
some
care.
amazing women
There's a lot of
right in front of me, looking at one who have come through our program. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a great program. I could talk about it forever. You know, literally saved my life. So yeah.